Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Tackle Shop Live.
A sunny day, right there you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup.
What up there, Jeremy Macbeth? How you doing, buddy? Robert Murray, Chris Bettinger's in the house. Patrick Kingery.
Please
What's up, buddy? Bob Donahue is here. Yeah, Tim McSee. Stacks Fishing, all right. Conway Hayden, what's up, Conway? Yeah, everything's good, bud. Jim Saban, Robert Mills, Mike Hayer, Gary Bechtel, how are you, Gary? David Schaudelmeyer, what's up, David? Ed Radnowski's in the house, yes, sir. And Matthew Weimer, as always. We got the juice for you guys today, that's for sure. Matthew, you betcha, bud. Michael Bradley. Man, good to see everybody. After missing last week, we are excited to be here again for another great edition of Tackle Shop Live. Yeah, man. Mark, how you doing? Jeff Santangelo. Ern, how are you, pal? South New Jersey, I take it. Okay. Yeah. Cool, man. Ronald Kennard. How are you, bud? Al Arnold, how are you, buddy? Wow. We got a great show for you tonight. Nick's going to be trucking in here shortly. He was out on the water with Greg all day today, and I hope you guys stopped in to see that live edition of the Open down on the Chesapeake Bay. That was really cool. To do that. And, Nick took the time to go down there and sit in the boat with Greg. I guarantee you that was a good time, man. I guarantee he had fun. I guarantee you he's going to be talking about that for a while. That was a good time to watch how Greg broke down the bay and did what he did. He ended up in 28th or 29th place, I think. He did well, really well. I mean, honestly, one good fish. He's in top 10. So it was a phenomenal tournament for him. He showed up and did a great job, even under the tough conditions, which we're going to talk about tonight, on some of the tackle talk and some of the technique talk. We're going to talk about some of that stuff down there, what went on, why it was so difficult for a lot of people, just stuff we can learn from that tournament. That's going to be a good time. Yeah, so it's we're excited. We're excited about the show. My name is Mike Acord. This is George Acord. Cameraman Nick is on the way. He's going to be popping in here shortly. And we are Tackle Shop Live. We come at you every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Last week, you were down in Orlando at ICAST, and you guys popped in for a little bit and did a short little episode.
We did.
Down there, yeah.
We did Tackle Shop Live. Until the nice people that patrol the hallways of the convention center asked us to leave.
Oh, yeah.
So we were cracking.
Kicked out.
Well, it wasn't violent or anything like that. It was a suggestion. The show's over, time to leave.
Yeah.
So, we were trying to do our best there in a short period of time. Because the problem is that the show closes at 6 and your last appointment kind of closes at like 5:30. So,
yeah,
your window is short because they're going to start asking you kindly to leave by like 6:30, 6:45.
Yeah.
But yeah, we figured we'd do a little live just to say we tried.
Yeah. It was nice to see you guys pop in there. And, it's a long day. It's a long day. You guys worked your ass off down there, and we were all very proud of you guys doing what you did. You did some great stuff, got some great coverage. Nick with the videos, and you with your meetings. Very important stuff going on there. Yep.
Good stuff.
Miles Perzinski. Yes, sir, buddy. Conowinga Bass Series Open is going to be on Sunday, the 3rd edition. will be this Sunday. George and I are going to be there fishing away, trying to get that W, which has been eluding us. And I don't know, George, we gotta step our game up or something.
Well, I don't know if we have to step our game up. We just have to zig instead of zagging.
Yeah. So
we're right on the edge of greatness.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're looking
close. We're that close.
Yeah, we're that close.
It's a razor thin line.
Yeah. We're looking forward to it. It's a great event. If anybody wants to get involved, check in the morning. I think starts at 4:30. Blast off is at 5:30 sharp. You don't want to be late because our tournament director, he is tight on that. And
he likes a good early start to his day, I can tell you.
He does. It's an early tournament, but you get off early before the sun really kills you and before you really get beat up bad. So it's nice to get off at 1:30, 2 o'clock. And
not really.
When it's super hot. It's just nice. I mean, it's a pain in the neck to get up that early, but it's
nothing nice about it. I would prefer to launch at 7 and fish till 5.
Well,
that would be
what would be nice about that is,
but I don't run the circuit.
You catch that afternoon current that they usually run, and the bite would be great that last couple of hours.
Now you're seeing it.
But I mean, I get it. I definitely understand that. So that would be cool. But who knows? Who knows what it'll be? It might be the tournament for us, and might be a tournament for you if you get involved. So check that out. And the other thing I want to mention here. The other week we mentioned that we are having a kayak tournament. We were asked many times when we're going to do it, and we were kind of coerced into it, and we finally put all the pieces together the way that we like to do tournaments, and we are going to have our big kayak classic, the Susquehanna River Classic Tournament kayak event.
It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Brought to you by Susquehanna Fish and Tackle, sfttackle.com, and our great sponsor, 13 Fishing. And what's cool about this, it's a lot like our other tournaments. You get something for your entry, and that is very important to us. And this one is no different. It's a $150 entry fee, but you get a 13 Fishing Omen fishing rod.
$100 value.
$100 value, which is absolutely phenomenal. So really, you're fishing a tournament for $50, and you got a rod to keep. So there you go. Big event. We're looking for 150 anglers, and we are going to pay out. And this is the crazy part of this whole thing. We are paying out a ton of money. First place is going to take home $10,000.
Yeah, my thing is this. If you're a kayak tournament fisherman,
yeah,
first of all, one of the number one destinations in the country is the Susquehanna River.
Yeah.
In the summer.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Check that box.
Yeah.
Second, no one pays $10,000 for first.
Nobody.
With an $18,000 purse.
Yep.
Based on 150 boats.
Yep.
Check.
Yep.
Now, when I was down at the ICAST show, I'm not part of the kayak world, but I am intrigued by the kayak world, and I follow the kayak world. So I had a couple minutes between appointments, so I went out to seek out some kayak fishermen.
Yeah.
And I figured I might as well go get, like, the who's who of the kayak world. So I strolled around, and I came across the Fluke Master.
Yeah.
And had a nice chat with him, and I'm like, Fluke Master, what up?
I didn't see your name on the list.
Like, do you not realize that there's a big tournament? Oh, yeah, I'm coming up on the Susquehanna Fish Tournament in like a week. I said, no. That's a nice tournament. Enjoy yourself. But you're going to want to come out for the SFT Kayak Classic. And I explained it to him, and he went, hey, let me talk to my boys.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if Fluke Master and who else was I talking to? Young Hoover. I believe his dad's name is Chad Hoover. I don't really know these guys that well. Talking to him, I was checking out his kayak. That frickin' thing. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if the heavy hitters of the kayak tournament industry don't show up, because I was just waving $10,000 bills, and and
Yeah.
strutting down the aisles of the ICAST show saying,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you can make the news or you can read about it.
Yep. It's it's a big event. It's going to be a great event. But like we all do in all of our events here at Susquehanna Fish and Tackle, this is an event for everybody. This is an event that if you ever had the idea that you wanted to fish a tournament, if you ever thought that, maybe I'm good enough, you want to try it out and you were worried about it, you didn't really know. Well, you guys know us. We are putting this on. We're going to make this very easy for you. We are here to answer questions. We're here to help you guys get involved with kayak fishing. And we're going to do that in the best way we know how and to make you very comfortable. And one of the things is you're already winning a $100 rod. You got that rod to take home with you and keep. And it's a very nice rod. George and I were very, very surprised about the rod and flipped it around and it's a very nice quality rod. So it's not something that you pick up and you're, man, this thing, they feel really good. So,
well, here's the deal.
It's exciting.
I was at the Rapala Normark booth, of course, with our esteemed rep, Charles Doherty.
Yeah.
And Mr. Matt Jensen.
Who listen, he stepped right up to the plate.
He loves this idea.
And he just stepped right up to the plate on this.
He is like all about the kayak world.
Yeah, and he's a big to do in the Rapala.
He's all about, he's like some kind of vice president or something.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad was Lure Jensen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've known Matt for many years. Matt's a big player there. But anyways, my point is he's very passionate about kayak tournament angling. And he is just so excited that we are going to carry the torch for them. He's very fired up to get these rods in anglers' hands. They bought out 13, and they are completely committed to righting the ship.
Yeah. And
creating 13 into the brand that it was back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yep.
Like pre off the tracks. I mean, their products were always great, but the company, the leadership, the business aspects really got spiraled out of control. And these guys are totally committed to it. And one of their vehicles is the grassroots campaign. And
they're all in on it.
He's like, there's nothing I would rather do than send you a couple of 100 rods and have you put them in the hands of serious kayak anglers.
Yeah.
So he's boxing them up.
Yeah.
He's shipping a pile of them out here, and we're gonna put a rack of rods in the shop.
Yeah.
We're gonna grow with them, taking baby steps.
Yeah. Because
they're taking baby steps.
Yeah.
I talked to them about their plans on, re-energizing the company, and it's baby steps.
Yeah.
They signed Dustin Cannell.
I saw that.
To their rod staff.
And that's going to be great. He's going to put some great information in.
We
He's
had
one of the best.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to him about that decision. So yeah, we're gonna go along with him, see how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So excited about the whole entire kayak event.
Oh,
there he is.
Cameraman,
the man,
Nick.
the myth, the legend. Cameraman Nick just busted into the house.
How's it going, guys?
What is going on there?
He's good to go.
Cameraman Nick, I'll tell you, buddy, you're something. Let me just tell you that. I mean, a week down in Florida, busting your ass down there, shooting all kinds of great video, talking with everybody, taking care of business down there, which was phenomenal coverage, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
And then coming home, jumping in a boat with our boy GDP and spending 2 days with him. I mean, that had to be just frigging awesome.
It was, and it almost didn't happen because, George left Friday to come home. My family came down. Then I drove home Monday to go to work.
Yeah.
I ended up getting like a sinus deal.
Oh, no.
So what was it? Yeah, today's Thursday. It would have been Tuesday. I get a hold of Greg, and I'm like, Greg, or it would have been when? What day did he not? It was Tuesday.
Yeah.
He had off.
Yeah.
No, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
No, the tournament was
Tuesday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah,
It was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
They were
So
up
he
Tuesday.
was coming here, and I'm like, dude, I said, I'm not feeling that good. He's like, uh-oh. But I'm like, let's go. Luckily, the next day, which was yesterday, I felt pretty good.
Oh, good.
And then today, but yeah, it's been fun. You got to keep moving.
Yeah.
And like today out in the boat, or the last 2 days, it was fun.
Yeah.
A lot of
I had to be fun.
Oh yeah,
I got one question for you though. How many sandwiches did you eat?
I had.
It seemed like every time I look up and you're showing a sandwich on the camera, and I'm like, this is great, man.
Yeah.
You must have had like 12
So
sandwiches.
yesterday I had 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Okay.
Today I had 2. I don't know what the hell they were. Like
Did Joe
chicken
make them?
salad. No,
Oh,
Wawa
okay.
made them.
Oh, okay. Wawa sandwiches. All
Oh
right.
yeah. Well, when you hang out with Greg, you know
Yeah.
where you're going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to
You got to
Wawa.
get coffee in
Yeah.
the morning.
You know, well, George and I were pulling that off pretty well down in Florida
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had a nice routine going there.
Yeah.
Nick would travel to Wawa every morning and get us some nice dark roast Colombians.
So yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, man, you've been going full speed, and everybody appreciates it. The coverage down to Bay was fantastic. It was a neat experience. I was glued to the TV. I mean, I don't usually do this, but I had my phone on, and I had it running all the time. If I'd go back and do shipping, I'd have it sitting there. If I came out here, it was on the big screen on the TV here.
Right.
I was back at my desk working. I had it running on my phone, which I never do. I was just intrigued by the whole thing, and you know, watching Greg make his moves and do his thing, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, that's cool, man. Good to have you back in the house.
Thanks.
Good to have you back. You guys
We did miss you down in Florida though.
Man, I everybody came in and were like, "What are you doing here, man? Did you get the short end of the stick?" And I said, "Yeah, you're damn right, I did." But you know, hey, you got to do what you got to do, and I had to stay back, and you know, we'll figure it out for the next time. And
I mean, you know, George brings actors, you know, comedians.
I know.
You know,
That was great. I wish I could have been there to see Steve Harvey, man. That'd have been perfect.
Well, you know, he might come up and fish our kayak tournament. Man. We're pretty tight now.
Yeah, you never know.
You know.
Anyway, we're talking about our kayak tournament, and you know, we're excited about it, Nick. This is a big deal for us. We're jumping into the kayak world, and you know, we, like George said, we're fans of it. We don't do it ourselves, but we're very, very much fans of it. And we have a lot of customers that are just diehard kayak guys, and they love coming in, talking fishing. And I mean, kayak guys are serious fishermen. They're big time serious fishermen, and we love it. We love the enthusiasm. We love everything about it. We love the fact that you guys are catching 100 inches of fish to win tournaments, which is spectacular, unbelievable catches. I mean, you think about it.
Oh, it depends where you're fishing.
Well, the Susquehanna River. That's awesome. 100 inches. I mean, it's just absolutely awesome. You know, it's a feat, and they do it. People do it every tournament. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool that that happens. So, and what we were saying, Nick, was, you know, this is like our tournaments that we do. It's for everybody. And that's what we want. We want everybody to get involved. We're going to hold your hand through the whole thing. If you're new to it, we're going to help you out. We're going to hold your hand through the whole thing. And all you have to do is go on to TourneyX, and just go to your website, type in TourneyX, and their website will come up, and then type in 2025 Susquehanna River Classic, and then you'll see our link to our tournament, and you tap on that link and you sign up. It's easy as pie. All you do is make an account, you sign right up, and you place your $100, $150 your fee in there, and you are good to go. And then the second thing you need to do is come here on Friday night between 2 and whatever, 8 o'clock. Well, between 2 and 6, get your board measured. And then at 6 o'clock, we have a captain's meeting and go over all the questions and the hoopla that goes on before a tournament. So we're going to have a nice tournament place here. We're going to have the tent. We're going to have a good time. And then after the tournament, we're going to come back to the shop for the weigh-in event, and we're going to have a big event here for the weigh-in. You don't want to just wet track and go home. You want to come down here. We're going to have door prizes. We're going to have things going on. We want you to come back. We want you to to support the winners, and we want you to hang out with us. We'll make it fun. I don't know what we're going to come up with, but we're going to have a good time here in the shop for the weigh-in on Saturday afternoon. So it's going to be a great time, and we're going to put it on like SFT does, and that's in a big way. So
can't wait.
Yeah, very, very excited.
Hey guys, question with that. So you say it's for everybody.
Yeah.
What makes you eligible? I know it's a kayak, but you said there were some other eligibilities.
Yeah, I mean, you're good. We're allowing canoes. We got canoes allowed. We got kayaks. We want everybody to be involved. There is some restrictions, but and we can explain them to you if you're thinking about getting in and you don't quite sure if you're eligible. Just call us up. We'll straighten it out with you. But we want everybody to fish. We want everybody who ever wanted to do a little river tournament. We want you to get in. So we do have some restrictions. You can't bring a John boat and stuff like that, but it's a kayak and a canoe, and it's electric motors or paddle, whatever you want to do. We're allowing all of it.
Everything's on Tourney X.
Yeah, we got.
I didn't realize this about the kayak tournament world, but there's like 10 times as many details as there is.
There's a bunch of rules.
There's probably 6 pages on just equipment.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules. So
but you might want to get on there.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. You do have to have a certain type of board, and that's all spelled out right on Tourney X. And
we'll have a bunch of those boards here in case you
I hope
lose yours or break yours or yours.
You can pick them up Friday night before
defective.
the tournament. Not a problem. We'll be able to hook you up. So it's going to be a great tournament. The boundaries.
I got questions coming in here. Just go to Tourney X, people. Everything you need to know is right there.
Yeah, go to Tourney X. We are running the tournament from Liverpool down to Safe Harbor Dam, which is down our way. It's a lot of water. You'll be able to get to some of the greatest water on the river, and some new water down this way that not too many people experience. But it's there's lots of 20 inches.
Now it's a long ways till September because it's only the end of July. Call it August, so we're about a month. We're just going to call it a month.
It's 50 days.
I'd like to call it a month. It's close to a month.
It's a month and a half.
Anything can happen in the next month ish.
Ish.
But I've been spending a lot of time on a river. So if you're not from the area, if you're tuned in, if you're thinking about it, I've been spending all my free time on the upper river. Mike and I have fished some tournament on the lower river, and we have some fishing somewhere else. But when I get a day, just a Sunday fun day, I've been going upriver. I'm going to tell you right now, barring any kind of weather phenomenon, this baby is going to be prime.
Yeah.
We're catching a lot of big fish over that whole
stretch. Yeah.
Particularly the upper 75% of that stretch. I mean, if I was fishing this tournament, I would fish the upper 75% of this stretch, what I call the free-flowing Susquehanna River. And I'm telling you, there's plenty of big fish.
Giants.
They're eating really good.
Giants.
And actually, just in the last, now it's about 3 weeks. So 3 weeks ago, actually going back to the holiday weekend. The holiday weekend, those fish were super skinny. I mean, they were like paper. Mm-hmm. And this past week, they looked pre-spawn.
Fattening up.
They look pre-spawn. They're gorging, absolutely gorging on crawfish and various insects. I mean, we've been having phenomenal insect hatches. I mean, just phenomenal. Yeah. So the situation is looking good. The fishing should be record setting.
Yep. As it always does, as it always is.
Yeah. So we'll keep you informed on the the progress here. We're looking for 150 kayaks so we can pay somebody $10,000 for first, and we can pay. We would like to pay that money.
Yeah. And we're paying out over $18,000 for the rest. I mean, we're paying way down in the field, and there's a lot of money to go around.
So
second place is like $3,000. So
we'll touch base on this and on future episodes.
Yep.
But get the word out there. Tell your kayak fishing, tournament fishing buddies what up. And it's about to go down.
Yep.
I got the big boys. Me and Nick fired up the big boys down at the ICAST show. Called them out a little bit.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, Fleek Master. I mean, sounds good to me, but
yeah,
if you're not at the classic, well, that's nice.
Well, let's get into some stuff here.
You hear me, Fleek Master?
Let's get this going. We're going to get some stuff going. We're going to talk about some ICAST during our tackle talk.
Oh.
Now, this is tackle talk. We love talking tackle, and George's got some great tackle to talk about. But first, we got to ask, because we weren't there. All of us watching,
No.
and myself wasn't there.
You know why? It's a very exclusive event. People like me and Nick had badges that we had to wear
to
access.
Yeah, I know. Let's go ahead.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
We were invited to many private events, red carpet type stuff, but let's not go into that.
Yeah, I know. I missed out on all the good stuff. But what we want to know is, what's the couple of takeaways from this show? I mean, I know one that I've seen over and over that is driving me nuts, but what was your takeaways from the show? I mean, what was cool? What wasn't cool? Overall take on the show.
Well, product wise, so the way ICAST works is they have what's called a new product showcase.
Yeah.
So that is an event where manufacturers put their entries into their categories. There's like 50, 60 categories. And then media members and buyers can stroll through those categories. They're laid out pretty nice. They have codes on them, and then you can vote for, for example, best freshwater soft bait, best saltwater hard bait, best freshwater rod. And then there's some more obscure categories, but so anyways, that's the night before ICAST opens. So you get kind of an overview of
sense of what's going on.
The product.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to just say, it seems like fuzzy.
I know
is where it's at.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I don't know, but there was a lot of fuzzy going on down there.
Yeah, we saw it all, man. We saw it all. So, we went through that showcase, and for us, it's great because it's kind of like, there's nobody around. You don't have to talk to reps. You're not in a meeting. Yeah. You're not in a meeting. You're not like, meetings are about business. This is about product. Funny thing is, a lot of these meetings we go to, we have like an hour meeting. We have 50 minutes of business and 10 minutes of product.
Yeah.
When I want it to be the other way around. So this is all product, and it's pretty cool. So paint the picture for you. They do you need credentials to get in, and there's 2-3 bars set up. That's kind of nice. There's some hors d'oeuvres set up.
Yeah, it's a nice little party.
Yeah, so you get in there, and you register to vote. You're given, your numbers are taken from you. You're now a registered voter. And then me and Nick, we discussed. We kind of did an overview, and then we went back through. We shot some video. We went live.
Yeah.
We were able to get our own takes on stuff. Shot a bunch of images that I use for notes. And I got some takeaways on product from the show. Yeah. I made some notes. I actually made some notes thinking about this show.
Yeah.
So without further ado,
Mm-hmm.
and in no particular order, I have my top 5, which is probably more like 7. And this is no particular order. I'm not saying this is better than somebody else's. This is my take. I'm sure Nick will chime in, but this is my take. So, swim baits, glide baits, particularly hard glide baits, are, have been a big deal for several years now. Everybody's getting involved with it. Well, the interest is so high that a lot of these manufacturers are doing, ABS versions of them. So ABS would be like how your crankbaits are made. That type of material, that type of process. Swim bait, garage bait purists used to be all about that, against that, but they're not anymore. You know why? Because, KGB, he pioneered the way with, taking a resin bait and making it out of ABS. Now let's discuss that for a minute, because it leads to what's about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So, you take the best resin guys out there, and there's a bunch of them, and I call them garage baits, and it leads to that, like that. To me, it's like that guy that's toiling in his shop creating masterpieces.
Yeah, it's a culture
that are fine-tuned for
a certain
just performance.
Performance.
Fish catching.
Right.
He's got like this crew of pro staff, and they just tweak this stuff out. And then other people get involved with it, and it just grows and grows and grows. Well, that's in essence the swim bait culture. And those are all, custom built resin baits, and which are awesome. But what we're talking about now is having those top builders, KGB, for example, he pioneered it. Having those top builders partner up with, the top brands in bass fishing tackle, like KGB and Spro, and creating super effective glide baits. And you can say what you may, but I got to tell you, they work really well.
Yeah,
I mean, if you haven't thrown the Chad Shad yet, and you're itching to get into the glide bait world, that's a great starting point.
Yeah.
They're making the baits that are like the core. They're not making the great big, tennis shoes. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the baits that you throw when you're not just targeting like one beast. And that will be a prime example will be your KGB Spro Chad Shad collaborative. Well, that worked because guess what? We got the Steve Kennedy G-Rat 2.0.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited about that.
Looks good.
yeah, it's got everything you want. It's got the rotating hook hangers. It's roughly 8 inches long. It's roughly 2.5 ounces. It's the sweet spot size wise, and they all do what they're supposed to do. They glide and they chop. Okay. Now you can get into the bog down into the intricacies of which one chops better, which one glides better, but let's just talk about ABS glide baits that are at ICAST this year. So we got the G-Rat, Steve Kennedy, 2.0, collab. It's money. I mean, we're carrying them all.
Yeah.
We had the Strike King Hog Farmer.
That looked pretty good. Hog Father.
Well, yeah, Father.
Junior.
Hog Father Jr. Tater Hog.
Yeah.
And there's a prime example of taking a resin bait You know, that, and let's face it, if you make 10 of them, that all 10 of them, there might be 2 of them that run identical out of 10. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you buy 10 of these ABS versions, they all going to run identical. Every one of them, right out of the box. And they're going to be like $45, not $345.
Yeah.
And they're going to catch a bunch of fish. So these are all good things, you know, so that the hog father junior, that stopped me and Nick in our tracks, man, in the rain, standing in the rain for 30 minutes, just drooling all over the tablecloth.
That's a nice bait.
And, you know,
yeah,
we made a massive commitment to those. We're going to have everybody's going to have one in their family. It's going to be like having a pet dog. So the G-Rat, the Hog Father Jr., Spro KGB did a 120 millimeter, I would say, 5 inches?
Yep.
That was exciting looking too.
Oh,
man.
very, very, very.
I'm excited
very,
about that thing.
Very, very, very.
Yeah.
But anyways, the essence of the show was very swim bait forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we met this guy that carves these wooden baits at the American Bait Works booth during our meeting. He's like this carver, and now he's working with them and making baits sink. I think it's called Sink or Sith, or I don't know. I was thinking Star Wars the whole time he was talking. You know, I was heading for the dark side because these are some badass swim baits.
Really?
So we'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But that was takeaway number 1, guys. The Spro KGB little guy.
And I'll give you a quick side note on that
Yeah.
one. So when I did the video with the guy that made them,
Yeah.
he said that the only way he could get the action out of that bait was actually because of the material it's made out of, that he couldn't duplicate it with a resin bait.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah. So, you know, we had an awesome meeting with Spro Gamakatsu. The problem was we didn't budget enough time because based on previous years, we didn't need it 2 hours. So Nick and I had to divide and conquer. So Nick was working with Brian New,
Yep.
who did a fantastic job. He was like, I'm here to work with you guys. Let's do it. Let's grind it.
Great guy.
And we cranked out some footage for baits that, as we bring them out, we're gonna debut them with that footage. And then he helped on the Spro side as well. So you know, he did a bunch of the hide up. He did a bunch of the nori's. I don't know if he did too much nori's, but a little bit of nori's, a lot of hide up. And then they jumped over to the Spro side of thing. Well, I had to roll. You know, so these guys killed it. They straight up killed it. Yeah, so that was good. And Nick got a chance to talk to the KGB guy. What's his name? Kevin?
Yeah, well, he's the guy that built them.
Yeah, I think his name's Kevin.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was cool. $54.99.
Yeah, I mean it's
That's where you're going to be on these ABS baits. You're going to be in that $50 range, plus or minus $5.
Yeah.
So you got, you know, 3 of them to look at. You have the Hog Father Jr., you have the Spro KGB little guy, and then you have the G-Rat Kennedy 2.0 G-Rat Kennedy collab. Sneaky Pete's called Sneaky Pete 2.0. And if you like to throw a glide bait, you're going to want all those. If you'd like to get into throwing a glide bait, that's, you know, if you're like wondering about this, because all my buddies are throwing glide baits and I feel like I'm missing out. I'm really excited about learning something. Just kind of do it in your head. You need a rod that'll handle 2 ounces. I like one that goes from 1 to 4. Okay, that's going to be 130 on up. You need a reel that will handle a decent amount of at least 20-pound fluorocarbon. That has a good set of gears in it, because when you're retrieving big baits and casting them for hours on end, that does more work on your reel gears than fighting fish. You don't need those reels to fight the fish. You need those reels to handle the swim baits. So I'd get something decent. So let's just say a little over $200. Okay. And then some baits, and they're going to average $40 to $50 a pop. And you're in the game. You only need like 1 or 2 baits to get started. And then as you grow into this experience and start learning about sink rates and, where I fish, I need this bait to sink faster because I'm in a little bit of current and it's not getting down. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll go on from there.
Yeah.
And we'll go on from there. But that was our first takeaway that Nick and I had, was
What was cool on your
the glide bait.
On your
Well, I'll add to what George said. The takeaway for me on the glide baits is glide baits or big swim baits, whatever you want to call it, always had like dollar colors. Like you had very little to select out of. When I'm looking at like that Steve Kennedy bait or the new Strike King, I'm like, these colors are crazy.
yeah.
Like it's pretty cool what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, you got clear watercolors, you have dingy watercolors,
Yeah.
And different fisheries. So a lot of these glide baits play really well on herring lakes. That's different color set. Up where we're at, we don't have herring. Well, we have some, but not many. So we're fishing gizzard shad and shad lakes, or we're fishing natural waters with perch and bluegill. So we're on a different palette of colors. So, when you look at the color offerings from a swim bait company, it's like your crankbaits or anything. There's probably 8 colors from every bait in America, every bait manufacturer, that are key. And the other, if they have 50, the other 42 are to catch fishermen, or a confidence thing for you and I.
Yeah.
I have colors that I use that make me I just know I'm going to get bit. They're a little different, right? Maybe it makes a difference sometimes, but a lot of times it doesn't. But it does to me.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So that, yeah. All right. In no particular order. Next up. And we did a video on this from Bill Cimento at Akuma/Fish Lab. Bill's like a guru in lure designing industry. He started out working with Spro. If you like the BBZ rat, that's him. BBZ swim bait, that's him. He left there. He went to Holdings of Akuma, and now he's with their Fish Lab. The last couple of years is what they're calling it. But he did a basically a jitterbug
Rat. It's a jitterbug rat.
So it's a jitterbug type body.
It's got the lip.
The lip is a jitterbug lip.
Yeah.
But it's aluminum. It's old school.
Yeah.
And he reached into his briefcase and he dug out one that he made when he was a kid, and he showed it to me and Nick. He said, "I don't know why I saved this thing all these years, but I brought it to show people when I tell the story of this bait." And he cut the table leg off of one of his mom's tables. And that was the body. So it's just a cylinder. And then he made an aluminum lip that looks like a jitterbug lip, like old school aluminum, raw aluminum. How about it, Nick?
It really looks great.
And he anchored it to the body with through wire construction, because those jitterbugs, it was a hope and a prayer on a big fish, and little screws didn't pull out.
Yep.
This is all on steroids. Jointed body, solid body, rat-like tail, 2 different sizes. I mean, Nick and I were in $14.99. Nick and I were like, we are all in on that, Bill. You need to tell the SFT universe about this bait. And he and my man can get a talker on. So I'm like, bro, you got 2 minutes.
2:07.
I'm like, you don't have 10 minutes, because my man could filibuster and shut down Congress.
Oh yeah, he could.
Yep, but he did a great job, and the passion this guy has. That's one of the things that ICAST. You are immersed in a 24/7 fishing, like, incubator, cesspool, if you want to call it that. And it's just it's everybody who's everybody in the fishing industry, salt, fresh, foreign, domestic, is there.
Just like taken up by it, man. Just
like
they're all taken up by it.
You're just in, and
that's all they want to talk about.
9 to 6, you don't stop. You got to remind yourself to get some water. And I mean, it's
tense.
It's the center of the fishing universe for 2.5 days in Florida. And, we're just down there as a little spoke on the gear, a little cog on the gear doing work. And, so we made some notes, took some pictures, shot some videos, planned out 2026, have already ordered a bunch of the products. Actually, there's ICAST products coming in tomorrow. There was stuff delivered today. There was stuff delivered yesterday. But anyways, let me get back on this.
Hey, George, what I wanted to say about that rat, because we did love that rat.
Oh, that's money.
And the fact that he knew to like do that tie wire was pretty cool. But the thing to me that was the best is there's rats on the market, but that rat, the size that he made,
2 sizes.
You don't need to be a rat person to want to throw that bait.
No, you're not throwing. This is not a big, you come in here and look at the spro rats. This is more along the size of the small spro rats, the 25 and the 30. This is something that you can take your son and your daughter to the local lake, put the little one on for them, and have them have like a topwater explosion that addicts them to the sport for life.
Yeah.
alters the path of their future.
I love it.
Johnny was going to be a doctor. Now he wants an icon.
Now he's going pro.
Shit just got real. Okay. Dad.
Yeah.
I mean, rock on, Dad. I mean, I don't know if you wanted Johnny to give up the medical field and become a bass fisherman, but
maybe
you're the one that tied that bait on his line.
Yeah, maybe not buy that bait, because that's what's going to do.
And let me go another minute on this. And guys, you're going to love this. Everybody in the audience, you're going to love this. Everybody watching live, you're going to love this. So let's talk about Bill Simantel, who, by the way, when this bait comes in, he's zooming in to launch it. Okay, that's done. Okay, we lined all this up. We inked the contracts. Mm-hmm. When we launched the Hogfather Jr., Tater's on the frickin' horn. Okay, so you guys, we got so much excitement coming. But let's get back to Bill. So Mike and I have known Bill for, I don't know, this is like our 25th ICAST for that long.
Yeah.
And, Nick's been working ICAST with us for a long time, so now he knows Bill. And when we walk into the booth, Bill's like, he strolls on over to see us. This guy is, when I talked about that immersion of like, we're locked into this bass world, fishing world, this guy's like, he's like Rain Man with this stuff, man.
He is.
He's like, I'm a very good lure designer, like it's time to invent a swim bait. I mean, my man is just, he is dialed in.
Yeah.
He's watching the show right now because he's on every week.
Yeah.
And he'll probably comment about that comment I made. But the fact of the matter is, you learn something from this guy every time you talk to him. So I can't wait until we launch that. As soon as they make them available, we're getting them. It might be a foot of snow on the ground, and we're going to be talking topwater fishing with rats. Deal with it, because we can't wait. We can't wait to have them on the show.
Yeah.
That's the kind of cool stuff. The truth of the matter is, ICAST is a giant royal pain in the ass because it's at the wrong time of the year.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff that just fires you up and has you coming back every year.
Yeah.
So that was the Fish Lab BBZ Wake Rat, $14.95. It's going to have 2 sizes. Of course, when they come in, we're going to get Bill on the Zoom. We're going to break these things down until you literally can't stand to hear about them anymore. Okay, the Spro KGB, check that off. All right.
Yeah.
Just when you thought.
You might as well just get into it.
Just when you thought that there was. No, I'm going to save that one for next.
Oh, are you?
Just when you thought there was enough worm colors out there. Turns out you were wrong. Nick, is there enough worm colors in the world?
I thought there was.
There is now, baby. Because Nick and I went over to the GSM booth, and they took enough time out of their schedule of buying every company out there to attend ICAST.
Yeah.
We had a
Really something.
So we go back to the old days with their president of fishing operations, who we met we had him in this building as a seminar speaker 14 years ago. We've known him a lot longer than that. Now he's with GSM.
Yeah, he was he fished the Elite Series.
He fished. I don't think he fished the Elite Series.
Didn't he fish the first year of the Elite Series?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But we had a great meeting with him, and he's got our back. But we went to our meeting in their booth to go through all the products, and they bought RoboWorm. You know, RoboWorm only has like 67 colors of worms. Well, turns out they now have 68, 69, and 70. Morning Mutilator. So let's just take the 2 number 1 colors and marry them.
And lamb
Looks
together.
good. Looks so good.
Margarita Mutilator and Morning Dawn. I'm just saying. How about
You saw that flying around, not that particular color, but one of those colors flying around a lot today, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
how about Oxblood Red Dawn?
Wow.
So take Oxblood Red. So if you're not a RoboWorm guy, like Morning Dawn, Margarita Mutilator, Oxblood, MM3, Bolt Bluegill,
Aaron's Magic.
Aaron's Magic. He goes up here. I mean, those are your top 7 right there. If anybody wants to debate that, we can do that on another forum. So let's take Oxblood Red, which means it has red metal flake, and marry it to Morning Dawn. They got some talented people that work here because this stuff's all shot in the U.S.
Yeah.
They're making these worms in the RoboWorm factory.
Yeah.
They're making Yamamoto in the Yamamoto factory. But they have some really creative people that are freed up because there's a blank check staring them in the face. And then the one that really kind of kicked it for us was the Morning Dawn Silver Flake. We got Morning Dawn. We got Morning Dawn Red Flake. Now we have Morning Dawn Silver Flake. And these are really fine flakes.
Yeah.
So these are subtle drop shot worms. And I'm sure you saw a lot of Morning Dawn sailing through the air the last 2 days because it don't matter where you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know Greg throws Morning Dawn. That's the only worm he throws. They're not eating Morning Dawn. They're not eating worms.
Yeah. Pretty much right on a drop shot. All over the country. It's amazing how it works everywhere.
So those colors doesn't sound that exciting but here's the business side of things for all you guys that are kind of interested in that. That's 3 colors. Did you realize that that's 49 pegs in the shop here? 3 colors is 49 pegs.
Yeah.
Mike's over there thinking, where are we putting that?
Yeah, I know.
Because you got 7-inch RoboWorms, 6-inch RoboWorms, 4.5-inch RoboWorms, 6-inch fat RoboWorms, 6-inch fat 4.5-inch RoboWorms. You got alive shads. You got You get my point.
Well, we can make some cuts on that.
And Nick and I had some great conversation about that.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
Yeah, can't wait to get them all in here.
Yeah.
And then the one that Mike's all on the fence about, but nonetheless,
yeah, I mean it's here to stay.
It has to be mentioned, Mike.
Yeah, has to come out.
Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, the videos, the stuff that I was watching, every time I turned around, you guys were holding up some kind of fuzzy bait.
Yeah.
And
we bought a lot of them too.
You know, it was every company. Now it's every company is debuting a fuzzy bait. I mean,
but this is a little different.
I don't know, man. There's jelly ones now.
No, I mean, this particular one is a little bit different.
Well, if you're talking about the Yamamoto, yeah,
the Senko.
Yeah, I know. I just,
what's the most number one?
I get
plastic bait in the world, bar none.
What do you think about that, Nick?
A 5-inch Senko.
The reason why I'm laughing behind the camera is because I know that you do not like new techniques sometimes, or new
yeah. I mean, it's these rigs, these rigs. They're crazy.
So I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about you, and I'm going, yeah, he's not into this.
That's crazy. But I mean, the Senko with fuzzy legs on it. I mean, what do you think?
Well, I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody be successful with it yet, which that's what I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it be a player.
Yeah.
In a tournament.
Yeah.
Or, something that we hear about.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they haven't been used.
Well, this is the year that George and I busted into it. We got them in the boat now, finally. They're
not
in
the Senko.
No, but we got
the
fuzzy ones in the boat now.
We're rolling dice, baby.
So we got fuzzy things that we can
crabs.
throw around. But the water hasn't been right for it. Every time we go out, it's like raging mud, and
it's getting
just,
right now, though.
It's just, but it's getting right now. So it's starting to get
probably
to
win that tournament on a fuzzy dice.
Well, it's starting to get to the point where, we can throw them and see what it's all about. And maybe I'll change my mind on it, like I did the drop shot when I.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. So you're at your favorite place to fish. Now, I know, George, for you, a Senko is not the first bait you want to pick up.
I don't really use them a lot. I mean, I use them, but there's times and places.
But here's where I'm going to ask you guys. This is a Senko situation.
Yeah.
Whether it's wacky or whatever you want to do. Are you going to turn to your old faithful, or are you going to go
to the fuzzy?
Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, the fuzzy is going to go out and get some beta testing done.
Okay.
So, the Sunday fun days, like I always like to bring like 3 or 4 test dummies with me and run them through their paces. I'm cool with, sitting down, rigging something up, and okay, I have to learn this. I don't know about this. I have to learn this. So I know. Let me do it.
And I've been wrong a lot of times. It started all the way back with the centipede. George and I, we just like, what the hell is this chunk of plastic? So we've been wrong on a lot of things. And this is just one of them things where, to me, it's almost like just a marketing thing that this has started and everybody's jumping on board.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Just to get a piece of the action, because everybody's like, whatever the Japanese guy, well, he's winning tournaments on these things and he's catching all these fish on these things, which he's catching fish that nobody else is catching. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt about it.
There's absolutely no doubt about it.
He's also dialed into that presentation.
And we have a customer who turned me on to the original dice, the actual fuzzy dice. And he's all about it. He bought like 40 packs from Japan when they first came out. And he's catching everything, bluegills, carp. He catching everything's on smallmouth, largemouth. I mean, crappies, everything's eating it. It's on his lakes that he's fishing. So, I mean, it's something that, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see how far they really go. And if it's just a flash in a pan or if it's the real deal. And at least in our area, it's just getting going. The guys are just starting to buy them up. They're just starting to throw them. They're starting to figure it out, because there's a lot of figuring you have to do on these things weight them properly? Do you want to drop? Do
Yeah.
you want no weight? You know, how
Well,
do you want
that's
to
what
rig
I was
them?
thinking about, Mike. I'm thinking about the fuzzy Senkos, because that right away, like you look at the Senko, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, where does that work in my
Yeah.
arsenal? Where would I throw it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it more of a clear water bait? Probably.
Yeah.
First of all, guys, I think you have to open your minds up a little bit.
It's hard.
So,
it's hard with this stuff.
You know,
it really is, man.
Let's talk about something here. So let's talk about the TRD. So,
Which I was late to the plate with.
well, let me make my point.
Yeah, I'm just saying I was late to the
So,
plate.
you know, Mike and I are primarily power fishermen by nature. We prefer to wind. We're not bullheaded enough to not slow down, but we prefer to wind. But the TRD was one that we said, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's get a spinning rod or two rigged up here. Let's go out, and something obviously going on here. And, you know, obviously just destroyed fish.
Yeah.
So let's just keep that open mind. And now let's talk about fuzzy dice.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's been proven to us on live camera footage that Nico rigging and drop shotting these dice under certain scenarios gets bit. But let's look at the guys that are really pushing it out there. Let's look at the Koyo Fajitos. Okay. That's his strong suit. That's not a fallback technique for him. That is a primary technique for him. So it's going to look good in his hands. You know, whereas I think a lot of fishermen, myself included, adopt new techniques for two reasons. One, it's interesting and it's fun to figure it out. Two, occasionally when I'm fishing a tournament or my club derby or I'm in a steel cage death match with my buddy on the boat, you know, and the bite sucks, I want the allure of that secret bait. But the reality is you have to learn it. So that's going to require you buying some dice from various manufacturers, rigging them up in various ways, and putting them through the paces according to how you fish, which is going to be different than how he fishes, which is different than how I'm fishing. But it's either going to land for us as individuals or it's not. The TRD, which I think is a great example.
Yeah,
by
it
the
is.
way,
It is.
that landed.
Yeah.
And now look what happened, the TRD. I mean,
Yeah.
every bait company has a dozen TRD offerings. Okay? It's that good. Look at the Senko. Every bait company has multiple Senko offerings. And they use a lot of verbiage like weighs the same as a Senko. Sink rate is the same as a Senko. Wiggles the same as a Senko. I submit that if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Mm-hmm.
And when I buy my Senkos, this is just me. I'm not trying to influence anybody. I buy Senkos. Now, I do have some, you know, other brands in there because
Can't get the colors.
I
You
get
know,
drawn
certain,
to the dark side of the Japanese secret weaponry from time to time.
yeah, and certain colors. You know, there's certain companies that make certain colors that I kind of like in a Senko that I'll, you know, Senko style bait that I'll throw in different. But
Well, let's talk about catching fish now. Okay,
that's exactly. I mean, that's
let's talk about catching fish.
That's exactly the point, though. I mean, it could be the next Ned rig.
Okay, so
it could easily be the next.
So you
Ned
and
rig.
I have been fishing extremely difficult. Our last two tournaments were like, I almost preferred to be at home cutting my grass. I literally the last one, I was thinking about my lawn because I like to have a sharp looking lawn. You know, I'm not talking
They were
putting
tough.
green.
Yeah, they were
I'm
tough.
talking. I like to stripe it.
You came
You
through
know?
though. You came through. You
Well,
caught some fish.
I mean, that's what I do. But I'm just saying, it was tough. Okay, it was tough. So we adapted. That was a prime. When it's tough, that's when we go down some of these rabbit holes, right? So I busted out Nick's JDM flipping beta choice and put the kicker.
You know what he said, Nick?
Put the kicker in the boat.
You know what he said? He said, well, Nick, we're going to put you to the test.
I'm telling you.
And I'm telling you, like the third, fourth cast, maybe fifth cast, he's dragging this thing along, man. Tonk. He catches the kicker.
That ain't what happened at all.
He catches the kicker, and he's like, holy crap, man, I got to tell Nick about this.
That ain't what happened at all. First of all, I rigged up the USA version that I just like to call the Reaction Innovation Sweepkeeper. Flipped out there, and I hadn't been bit in an hour. Dunk, dunk, the old double tap. Frickin' Thor's hammer went off and set the steel. Drag pulled, line broke. Now I just tied, brand new line, just tied up.
Oh, yeah.
Could have been a catfish. I don't know.
I had to hear about that for
could have been a catfish. It was a little upsetting.
7-8 minutes while he's retying.
Why don't you put old Chang Wang there in the frickin' stratosphere? Because my man needs a life. So I rigged up. I said, Nick's all about Nonori's front flapper.
Oh, yeah.
So I dug out my bag. I have one bag, rigged it up. It hit the water, sank about 3 feet, kicker in the boat.
Nice.
Yep. So,
it puts
that's
him in
kind of like not really that far extreme. But talking about this Senko, so when we get into a tough bite, and Mike caught all his fish on a Senko.
Yeah.
He was fishing a Senko, wacky rigged Senko. When we get into a tough bite, when our backs are against the wall, when imminent doom is staring us in the face, we pull the ripcord and bust out the Senko box. And now I put an O-ring on. He just freaking savages it right through the freaking egg sac, sets the hook, breaks the worms in half. He doesn't care. But it puts fish in the boat. You can be on a tidal water fishery. You can be on a reservoir. You can be anywhere in America. I've done it many, many times on the upper river in like a foot of water. And them suckers are like, ain't happening. You pick that wacky rig up, put it where you know there's fish, and you instantly get bit. So now is this fuzzy Senko going to do that? Can you be better than instantly getting bit? Because I'm telling you, when you know they're there and you can't get bit and you take the time to wacky rig a Senko and you get bit instantly, can the fuzzy Senko be better? We don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
Are we going to find out?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
So that means we're going to be stocking the 4-inch and the 5-inch in all 8 colors. Of course, we already knew that before we started this dialogue.
Well, I will tell you a fun little story real quick. So I was interviewing.
$9.99 a pack, bro.
Nice. I'm in.
I mean,
I'll try them.
Why not?
So I was interviewing Trey McKinney, and after the interview for the rod, we started talking about the dice. And I said, Trey, did you get into this fuzzy dice stuff? He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm not that great. He goes, but, I do a lot of forward facing. I'm like, yeah, I know. He goes, I can tell you this. He said, when you throw it out there, the fish come up to it right away. And he goes, you think right away you got the fish, but they don't take it right away. They almost always swim down a little bit and then they reattack it. And that's when they take it. He goes, so it's really something to pay attention to because a lot of people set the hook the first time and they don't get them.
That's interesting.
And, he knows what he's looking at.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what he does all the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Setting the hook and not getting them.
Yeah.
That does not remind you of fishing like a mag draft.
Yeah.
You get this baseball bat strike and you set the hook so hard you come out of your flip-flops and there's nothing there, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep reeling. What I found out with the fuzzy dice the last time I was fishing, the last 2 times I was fishing them, and they would eat a wacky rig. They straight up, I literally picked a whack. I was with my buddy Tony Cicero, who's an expert river fisherman. He took me fishing the last couple weeks that I had time to go. And our bite died. I brought my dice with me all rigged up, and I'm throwing it, and I'm just expecting like this. And I rigged it. I was in a foot of water. I rigged it weightless, Nico hook, G-crack, my favorite. Nothing. Now, to prove my point, I cut that off. I lay it on the floor of his boat. I don't know how many decades it was down there. It was a 4-inch Senko wannabe with an O-ring and a hook. Tied it on, made one cast and caught a fish. One freaking cast. Then I caught like 2 more fish on now. They were small, but they were fish. So 15 minutes of dicing, literally 3 fish in like 7 casts on a floor.
I like to fish it like
on a floor bait,
like 5 o'clock in the evening till dark on our river out here. I bet you it'd be really good for the hatch. It comes off in the evenings. I think it'll be when you're whacking them on top water or whatever. I think it'd be a pretty cool bait for that. And I don't know.
Well, we got some work to do.
We'll mess around. We got a lot. We got a lot to figure out with it.
Something that's really interesting that you're talking about, George, is there are baits out there that are universal. It doesn't matter what lake you go to; they just work. Senko's one of them. Ned rig, okay. But then there's baits that we all have. Could be, the minnow style. What do you call it?
Shaking your minnow.
Shaking your minnow. Umbrella rig, whatever. There's lakes that they really work well, and there's lakes they don't want nothing to do with those baits. You never know what these new baits and new things are going to be. It could light up your lake, or it could be it works better at this lake.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Like, I don't get down with the whole concept of exactly imitating a certain type of forage. I'm like, this fish's brain is wired to react. How do I make them react? Okay, and I can give you 25 reasons why my line of thinking makes sense. A, fuzzy dice. Seen a lot of prey. Never seen anything that look like that. Okay, let's just stop there because the list is going to be just as ridiculous.
Yeah.
My point is it makes fish react one way or the other. Could be a negative fish to react, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue to push this fuzzy envelope. So we have like Z-Man with their fuzzy dice.
Yeah.
They got fuzzy nuggets. They got all kinds of fuzzies coming out. We got this Yamamoto fuzzy. There's lots of fuzzies.
Yeah. Everybody has it.
All right. 2 more things that wowed me at ICAST, and then we're going to move on to a little Bass Open talk.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I got a cool bait I want to break out for you guys that just came in straight from Japan.
Japan.
So 2 reels that there was 3 of them really. There was probably about 10, but there was 3 that blew me away. 2 of them they're rather high end, but we have to talk about them just because it made my notes, and a lot more made my notes. But I have to call it, and they're both Shimano reels. I mean, these guys they know how to do gears. I'm just telling you right now. Say what you want, like them, love them, hate them, not. The new Sustain and the new Accents. Now, if you're looking for a Rolex, you need to look at that Accents. If you're a Rolex guy, if you're a jet flying, limo riding, kiss stealing, Rolex wearing, son of a gun, woo! You're going to need to look at that Accents because I'm going to tell you right now, that is a bad boy.
Yeah.
That thing is super light, beyond imagination. The oscillation of the spool is just like a precision instrument. It wraps every wrap of line parallel. It's ridiculous.
Pretty cool.
The Sustain, very close to that. Obviously not the same materials, but it's got that asymmetrical rotor, that MGL rotor that's like got the weight offset to compensate for the bail trip. It's just, these guys have a lot of time on their hands to come up with these ideas.
Well, they're spectacular engineers, and they are precision.
The gearing,
exceptional.
the gearing on both of those reels. Now you're talking $339 and up reels. We're not talking about $99.99, $109.99, which, by the way, they brought one of those out too. But those two made my notes because they were side by side on the display.
Yeah.
And we were talking with
Alex Davis,
and also we were talking with a pro from Connecticut,
Alex Weatherall.
Oh,
we were talking with the Alexes, and they were like handing us reels. You got to check this out. You got to look at this. You got to look at this. You got to look at this. And we're all like, yeah. Those two. I mean, if I could have, I'm honest. I don't steal stuff. I have stolen stuff from ICAST before. I stole a pair of Avere sandals the first year they came out. True story. I left a pair of Nikes in the rack and I took the Averes. I would have stole that reel if I wasn't an honest person, because I mean that thing was crazy. But I wouldn't do that. I'm just joking. But anyways, that's me and Nick. We struggled through another ICAST. I mean, we had to go to Corona Cigar Shop a couple nights.
Oh my God! I wanted to ask you about that.
He was a bad influence on me,
George. I'm telling you,
I got Nick smoking cigars.
I know. So the big problem with me not going to ICAST is I wasn't able to buffer the George syndrome on Nick.
Listen,
I dropped the hammer on him.
When the cat's away, the mice will play.
I always the in between Nick and George. So when Nick would kind of look at me, when George would say, "Hey Nick, let's drink some scotch and let's smoke a cigar," Nick would kind of look at me and I say, George, don't be pushing your stuff out on him.
No,
but I wasn't there, and Nick got sucked into it, and now Nick's smoking cigars and drinking bourbon, and that's a problem. It's a problem, George. We need Nick Sharp.
So here's how we struggle through the show.
We need Nick Sharp.
So day one, we tried to go into a local bar just to be on, because we're bar people. And they said, "Well, I'm sorry, sir, there's a 30-minute wait." Now, this is a bar. And 3/4 of the seats at the bar, not tables, bar stools, are empty.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
I said, "So we have to have a 30-minute wait to sit at your bar?" I'm like, "Well, you need to get your manager out here because he's a freaking idiot." And the guy snapped his head around and he goes, "Yeah, he is." Half the tables were empty. So what were we supposed to do? Right next to the bar was the Capitol Grill. We were tired, weary travelers.
What else could we do, George?
So, that left a mark on the company credit card.
Yeah, again, the buffer zone,
Then we had to go get a cigar after that.
We had to.
Might as well get a Padron to cap off a nice meal. And it just pretty much went downhill from there. I'm just telling you.
I knew that was coming.
Capitol Grill, Eddie V's, the Vine. I mean, it just we are not responsible citizens. We are not. Corona cigar every night. I mean, we're just not responsible. Sorry. You're going to about 24 more days. You're going to see how irresponsible we were.
All right. Well, that was cool. I mean, we're going to be bringing up ICAST over and over and over the next several shows, because we're going to be debuting products as the stuff comes in. So from now until December, you guys are going to be just inundated by new product drops. So that's going to be a pretty big deal. So now what we want to do is talk about stuff that actually dropped in the shop.
I got one item.
And George has something here now. Also, George, but while you're getting that out, the bite powder from Norris, Nick, I got another shipment of that stuff in, and it's back in stock, and it's up on the website, so you can order on the website. There's something to that stuff. They're starting to get legs with that, and guys are figuring it out. So, I mean, it's there. You guys can read about it, see what it's all about, but it's a legit thing. It really is a legit thing. And it's really, guys are coming back and buying like multiple bottles. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I talked to Brian Dew. He's using it. I talked to Greg obviously this week, and he's using it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you just sprinkle it in on all your stuff, and then when it hits the water, it kind of gels up over top of the baits, and then it kind of slow releases the scent. And I mean, we've got people are coming in and going, man, oh man, this is the deal. It's working. It's so we didn't get restocked with that. I think there's 12 or 14 bottles left right now, so you might want to check that out. And that's up and running on the website. Also, we did finally get all the Zoom 6-inch Zoom loaded. They're up on the website on the new products list under Super Flukes. So you guys can check those out.
Badass too.
And yeah, George has been catching some big fish on it on the river already. So he's really excited about it. It's been pretty cool.
I've been catching some big
And then
fish
now we loaded this one up, and this is a new bait from Mega Bass. George, tell us about this thing.
So this is basically the next kind of version of a Hasdong shad. So a Hasdong shad's a little 3-inch boot foot minnow.
Yep.
And it's legendary drop shot bait, particularly if you go up north. So they started about 3 years ago working with a straight tail version of it. And it's called the Haze. Or has ST for straight. And all I can say is, remember one of my favorite sayings, people: elephants eat peanuts. This is a 3.4 inch. It's not 3.5 inch, which I found interesting.
Yeah, I did too.
That they couldn't put 3.5 inch. This is 3.4 inch. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough a few years ago to fish this bait. And, my love affair with finesse being what it is, I caught some damn nice smallmouth on the St. Lawrence. I think you can probably catch a damn nice smallmouth in the St. Lawrence River on about anything. But some days it isn't like that. I just talked to a co-angler today, by the way, to prove my point. And he went up and fished that last BFL up there, and him and his boat are skunked. Mike and I fished 2 years ago or 3 years ago up there in the fall for 2 full days from dark to dark, and we caught 4 smallmouth. Now, the smallest one was 5.5 pounds, but it can be tough. And this is a very subtle, this tail on this thing is kind of like a wedge. So it just does this. This is what this thing does. It just quivers. You can put it in a glass of water on your desk and it just quivers. And of course you got the colors. I mean, this is green pumpkin shad. These are the 2 most popular colors of all time. Green pumpkin shad, and they're in these nice trays. That's why it's so hard to pick up. Green pumpkin chartreuse. Forget it. I have to show it to you in the tray. I can't even pick the damn thing up. Green pumpkin chartreuse. Probably never use this because I can't get them out of the freaking tray. Okay? Deal with it. These 2 are the most important colors ever in Hasdong and Hasdong Straight. Now, color does matter. We don't emphasize it. We kind of downplay it, but there's times when it matters big time. Check this out. Disco shad. Cloudy day, a little bit of dinge in the water. Game over. Check this out. Clear day, sunny, tough bite. Maybe you find yourself needing a fish badly in a club derby or in a death match with your buddy on your boat. Or you just haven't caught a fish in 4 hours and you're wondering if you remember how to fish. Drop shot that bad boy. Put it on a little jig head and swim it. You're going to get that body roll. You're going to get that tail. Of course, you got to have white, right? Go shad solid. I don't want to take this out of the pack because I can't get them out of the package. Literally never going to use any of these. And we have the Goby, I'm sorry, is sold out. Apologize profusely for that. IU.
Standard. That's a standard.
That's killer.
Yeah.
And, of course, Pro Blue, but U.S. Pro Blue.
That's pretty sweet.
So this is the Megabass Hayes ST for straight, $9.99. You got 8 baits. Okay?
George, are you nose rigging that or are you threading it?
Nose rigging it.
Nose rigging it. Okay.
So I just take a small, now not by my standards, a big by like the people I fish with that show me this bait. I use huge hooks compared to what they use.
Yeah.
They're using number 4s.
Yeah.
Okay, I use a number 2, even a number 1, because I don't buy all that hook size deal. You could thread it. It does have a split belly. Probably won't be able to show you. There we go. Does have a split belly. So there's enough meat. There's enough meat to thread. If you want to do a straight, here's what Nick means by that. Thread a straight shank in and bring it out the back.
Mm-hmm.
So the hook's in there. You'll probably get a little more life out of the bait. Now, when I nose hook them, I don't just come through the chin and out the top. I come in the nose and out the top. So mine's up on my hook a little bit. My hook's like this. These are cool. These are really freaking cool. I highly recommend.
Yeah, they're going to catch fish.
I had one sample. They gave me one sample. One. And let me tell you something. I made it count. I was on this drop, guys. It was a point on the shipping channel. And when I say it dropped, I'm talking 100-foot. I don't know how big them ships are. Big-ass ships coming off of Lake Ontario weren't going to bottom out. I mean, this thing went like this. Boom. And you could just see them suspended there. And they were just not playing. And I put this little dude on and just kind of let him pendulum down through there. Oh, it was awesome. That's what I'm talking about, trying new baits out. That was an awesome time. Now, I only had one, and it got used. Even the pieces, what was left of it, I threw on the floor of the boat. He took it and put it back in the bag.
Yeah, as George was saying there, the Hayes ST rigged on a drop shot is probably the primary way of fishing it. You could fish it on a
jig head,
jig head, and throw it out and fish it on a jig head as well. But the primary way that you're going to see guys fishing it is drop shotting for sure. It's going to be a pretty good deal for that.
Well, we like it, so we wanted to bring it to you.
Yeah. So
let's talk a little bit, guys. Let's talk a little bit about this Bassmaster Open that Nick just spent.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious,
God knows how many hours
and the
on
listeners are curious too.
What did we learn?
Greg ended up in 29th place.
Nice check.
Great job.
And the 10th place was only 3 pounds off.
Right.
So
it was tight.
I mean, legit. I think even 11th was like only a pound and a half off. So any cast could have put him in 10th place. So basically he had a great tournament.
He did.
And it was a quality event. But as always, as these events goes, things changed. Things
really changed.
Things happen that always do. It's constant. It's almost an omen that's always going to happen when you have a good practice and you're kind of dialed in. You ain't dialed in.
Let me put it to you like this.
Something's going to happen.
Let me put it to you like this. Football, they say, is a game of inches. Well, tidal bassing is a game of minutes.
Yeah.
And if you don't think the minutes matter, yesterday on the tournament day one, the difference between like fifth flight and sixth flight was a barrage of 4 to 6 pound fish because the tide finally got to suck out a little bit. And that initial rip, we call it the rip, is like it's like, chicken wings being carried out in a bar. I mean, you're just going to order you some chicken wings.
But what happened, what really happened was the wind shifted to the south. You had a southeast wind. That
was today.
You had a south wind and you had a southwest wind for the tournament. And then it went southeast. It went
it was east on day one.
Yeah, it was south. Greg told me it was more southeast. Southeast.
That's bad.
And he said it just held the water in, and they even thought like it blew south hard overnight to keep the water high and put the water high. Plus my big thing too, and it's the problem down there is a high pressure. The high pressure with the high water and then the water not moving made it difficult. I mean, for everybody. Yeah, some guys landed on a bag, but you ask those guys, they only got 7 bites.
They landed on the fish.
Yeah, they landed on a big bag of fish, and
sometimes you land on them, Nick.
Well, I mean,
we caught them first thing in the morning, and it was over.
So yesterday, it was interesting because everybody Doc Talk. I'm listening to some Doc Talk yesterday, and they're all saying they caught all these fish. Everybody had 17-pound bags, up to 24-pound bags, and whatever. But nobody was ready for this flood tide that happened yesterday because it didn't even call for it.
Right.
So anyways, it repositioned those fish yesterday, but it did make it to where everybody could still fish what they knew. They just had to adjust. Today, what I seen is you still had that flood tide, but now you had that hard south wind that all those areas where them guys were fishing, a lot of them turned into dirtier.
Push dirty water in.
And now what happened, what I really seen today is the emergence of the catfish. These areas were like polluted full of catfish. And, guys,
blues.
Oh, yeah. Channels and blues. They were whacking them. So
don't even put your chatterbait in the water.
But you said about a spot. So there was an area today where we were around. There was a spot as big as the counter that you guys are standing at. You either were catching 1 pounders, 1.5 pounders around that spot, or you're catching 3s and 4.5s in that spot. That's what it was.
That stuff drives you crazy.
And that drives you crazy. So what I can say is, Greg made great adjustments both days. I mean, fished a great tournament. He absolutely knows what he's doing.
Those adjustments he made yesterday were spectacular.
Yep. And today, it's funny, if you watched the live, you'll hear him talking because he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. But there's a lot of variables because he doesn't know what the high water is doing in other areas. He doesn't know what the wind's doing in some areas. And, you could spend your whole day driving around.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. And it can really hurt
easily.
You. So
that gets in your head.
Yeah. So I mean, he's trying to think how he wants to do it. I think it's one of those things you can always second guess it later. You got to go with what you make the decision at the time.
And I have 2 things I want to add to that, if I may. First, on the high water, and this is what's very interesting about tidal water. For example, we're privileged. We have the Chesapeake Bay, we have the Potomac River, we have the James River, all connected to the Chesapeake Bay. We actually fish on the bay, and small rivers that feed it on the what's known as the upper bay. So the upper bay, for those of you who aren't familiar, is like, I don't know, let's just round it up, call it 40 miles from the salt line to the Susquehanna. It's probably more like 35, but let's not quabble over 5 miles. And there's probably a dozen smaller rivers that feed that. And then you go down the Chesapeake Bay a good distance now, probably another, what, Mike, another 80 miles, 60 miles, and you get to the Potomac. And then you go a whole bunch more and you get to the James. So here's the cool thing. And it's kind of like you can learn from this lesson, because I know I have been burned by these flood tides many a tournament. A big old low pressure off the coast, and I'm talking out in the Atlantic, can cause that high water. So really, when you're looking at the weather and planning a big event like this, it's almost like you should be looking at, within 25 nautical miles of the coast on the Atlantic. And, we just had a big low pressure come up through, right? And the way it works is, here's how it works. This is nature. As that low pressure approaches with the winds that are pushing up the bay, you get flood tides, right? Then the bay is above sea level. So when that low pressure passes and the winds that are now rotating and pushing down the bay will go below sea level because water seeks its own level. So let's say that happens tomorrow. So if you're fishing down there in this tournament tomorrow, let's say tomorrow's the day, you're going to see the first day of the flush. If this is the case, if it's not like Saturday or Sunday, right? Yeah. But if it's tomorrow, you're going to see the opposite of a flood tide, and low tide's going to be super low. These guys are going to be like, man, this low tide was a foot below normal. And then the next day, it'll be even lower. And what's happening is Mother Nature is when it comes in, then it comes in, it goes back out, and then it kind of settles at normal. So you go from more water to less water to normal water. So if that happens tomorrow, look out. There's going to be mega sacks drugged to the scales. Because if that's the day one of the ocean allowing the water to come out of the bay, because the ocean's acting like a dam. If it allows it to come out, it's going to be on like freaking Donkey Kong tomorrow. So make sure you watch. I don't even know if there's any live.
They haven't.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
We were the only live in town.
That's right.
and a fine job you did.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you, it's interesting. First, we were going to do it where we both had mics on, because it's funny. Brian Setlock, he reached out to me. He goes, I don't know how you haven't talked for 2 days. And what nobody knew was I was asking questions behind the camera, but you couldn't hear me because I didn't have a mic on. But every once in a while, because when you're fishing, you're focused on what you're doing. Yeah. Every once in a while, I would ask a question to Greg, like, hey, Greg, what are you thinking right now? What are you seeing right now? Whatever, maybe about a bait or whatever. And, Greg's great. He's like, oh, yeah. And then he starts talking and you hear him start talking. But a lot of times that's him and I conversating back and forth. Yeah. But I think it really worked well because unlike most lives, it was more personable. Yeah. We were, front and center. Yeah. I mean, hell, yesterday he re-rigged his whole rod right in front of everybody. Yeah. Took all his line off, put new line on.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? He's got 30 rods. Why is he doing this right now?
Yeah. I mean, but it was quick.
It was the right thing to do.
And I can tell you, he blew a lot of people's minds yesterday. Not even just on live. I'm talking about competitors. High-end competitors, way he was using his forward facing to pick off some of them. I mean, he caught some giant fish. Yeah. And I'm telling you I think personally what hurt him today is the area in which I think he could have picked off some really big fish. It really muddied up. Yeah. And it was really, really hard. Those fish repositioned. Yeah. And he made great adjustments and he caught a lot of fish. Yeah. But you can't help sometimes what size those fish are.
Right.
Those 1.5 pounders. Yeah. What can you do? Yeah.
You know what else I found interesting in this tournament so far? On the scuttlebutt I was able to pick up, talking to my peeps, the adjustments that are being made to the chatterbait. And I'm seeing it in multiple fisheries in what I call the dog days of summer. And we're about to get into some heat. Some boys tomorrow are going to earn their keep. What I noticed is, and B. Height said it, the baby jack, which is a very subtle bait for those of you who haven't delved into that world. The other thing that's really crucial right now is a straight tail trailer. Getting rid of that boot foot, getting rid of that tail that's keeping that bait from hunting at its maximum. And they're doing a lot of these straight tail trailers. And what I'm talking about is, like, for example, like a fluke style bait. Like, I've been having great success with just a Z-Man scented jerk shed. You know, that tail just allows this bait to hunt. You take the baby jack and you put that little scented jerk shed on there. And this last tech's a little tricky. Here's what I like to do. You know, you get up here to where you're finalizing that placement, and that it wants to kind of ball up on you. So what I do is I just grab one little piece of it and stretch it real big and snap it. Look how perfect that sits on there. Damn skirt. Nice and straight. But it balls up. You know, this Elastec tends to ball up. So all I do is when it balls up on me, I don't try to continue to fight it to the anchor point. I'll just grab that thing and stretch the hell out of it like that and snap it. And it just falls into place perfectly. But that tail, so I've been fishing these flukes on my chatterbaits and my baby jacks the last few weeks because it's been clearing up and the fishermen getting a little picky. You get wicked hunting action out of the bait with this fluke style tail. And this is just a 4-inch scented jerk shed. That is money. I mean, it's subtle. It's erratic as hell because it doesn't have that boot foot anchoring it down. I was talking to one of our pro staffers the other day. He was fishing smallmouth with his son on the Susquehanna. They were throwing chatterbait, and they had swim baits on. Different brands, whatever, Kitex or React, whatever. And they weren't eating. They caught a few fish on a crankbait. They caught a couple fish on a spinnerbait. And Dave said that the missile rep, Scott Nemesek, had given him a pack of the little missile spunk shad. Gave him a pack of the spunk shads, which is a straight tail. And he said he took that boot foot off of his son's swim bait and put this straight tail on, and they freaking pulverized the fish because the bait could hunt more, and it was more subtle, but yet it was erratic but subtle. So, and I'm seeing that local. I'm seeing that, you know, on these pressured fisheries. I'm seeing that with these sunny bluebird skies and these bad case scenarios like this flood tide, and everything's just bad, you know, and get not even a fishtail, just a straight tail like a fluke or a freeloader or a mooch minnow. Here's one of the most sleepers there are. Now I like the jerk shed, but here's the streaks. That's a little needle tail.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying to you is, if your chatterbait bite is waning under these circumstances, you know, get yourself a pack of I'm sure you all have flukes. I'm sure you all have flukes in your boat. I'm sure you all have something that you had to buy. Like, I know Cameraman Nick, big Japan Nori's bait guy. He loves the ladyfish, lady balance, whatever.
Well, I like how you talk about hunting because I always remember a story that you and Mike talk about where Kevin Van Dam came in or talked to you guys about when the 1.5 was coming out.
Yeah.
And when he talked about it, it wasn't how straight it ran.
Right.
It was how it hunted,
How erratic.
how erratic it is.
Yeah.
And that's what provokes strikes
Yes.
that other baits wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're talking about, George. Like, you want it to hunt, you want it to work.
So when Van Dam talked about that crankbait, it was at ICAST. And Mike and I were in a meeting with him, and he reached in his briefcase. They didn't even have samples of them. And he pulled one out, and he showed it to us, and he said, "This looks like every other square." It looked just like a Lucky Craft LC 1.5. I'm sure that's what they modeled it after. And he said, "This thing will track on like this, and then it'll kick, and you'll think it's out of tune," because we didn't know what hunting meant. He said, "Just keep reeling, and then it'll kick, and then it might kick 3 times. It might, but it always comes back to center." He said that is not an accident. That's done by the air chambers. And he was right, because that bait flew back with me, because I told him I was fishing the open on the bay. This was the last summertime open they had. And I needed that bait. And yeah, so the hunting thing and this, so you got pressured, dog days. You're starting to get into that part of the year where it's kind of like it challenges the best of fishermen.
Yeah.
You're getting into that abundance of bait,
Yeah.
which I don't think a lot of the country's going to see this year because of all the rain.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot.
gizzard shad are like weeds.
Yeah.
Weeds grow great when there's sun, right? I came back from a week at Florida. My whole entire property has been completely destroyed. I had to hire 3 landscaping companies. They're all coming in. It's going to cost thousands of dollars. It's horrible. Don't judge me by the way the place looks now. It happened. So shad aren't spawning because the water's been dirty.
Yeah. Right.
So you're going to be you're dealing with a lower abundance of shad. There are a lot of crawfish around the country, from what I'm hearing. You're dealing with the heat jacking that water temperature up, to 90. You're dealing with, these guys are dealing with flood tides. Now, maybe tomorrow they get that flusher. We're going to see.
Yeah.
They're blasting off at 6. We're going to be watching at 6.
Well, there was a bunch of guys in here today saying, "Oh man, we got to go. We got a club tournament down there on Saturday, and we got a tournament there Sunday." I said, "Listen, those guys struggled down there. It hasn't been good fishing. It could be the bust out couple of days for you guys, man. It could be good."
If those guys, from what I've seen over the last 2 days, I know we want to talk about pressure. I can tell you there's enough fish in that place to handle the pressure.
Yeah.
And it's shown it even with the bad conditions.
Yeah.
Because they're catching them, and I can tell you there's a lot more fish there to catch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of fish.
The other nice thing I heard today too was they catching all those fish and putting them in that release boat, taking them all the way down to Aberdeen and releasing them.
Oh, no crap.
I got a GPS location on that release point down there.
They're taking them
in
all
case
the way
anybody's
down.
interested in
Spreading them out a little bit.
knowing where that is.
They took them all the way. They whatever they could fit in the boat, they took down there. The rest they released up.
Oh, no, they had the pontoon boat.
Yeah.
They got 2 of them.
Yeah.
2 of them?
No, one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can get a lot of fish in one, and they took
yeah.
them all the way down.
The last
there.
boat went
and-
down.
Huh?
The last boat out went to Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Then they're heading to St. Lawrence. No. Champlain, I think, right after
St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence. Yeah, everybody's all jacked up about the St. Lawrence. We had a lot of the open, not a lot, but we had a nice crowd of open anglers come into the shop here on the day off, which was pretty cool. And
Yeah, thanks, guys.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for stopping in. And they were all jacked up about going up there. And George passed out a bunch of hats to him. And one dude gets up on stage and he's like, the guy's like, "Man, had a good day." "Yeah, I had a great day. And thank George and Mike up at Susquehanna. They got a great tackle shop, and they gave me a free hat."
That's awesome.
The power of advertising, baby.
So they were cool.
They were a bunch of cool, hardcore guys.
They were.
I'm
expect to see them tomorrow.
It's so cool to see, like, a bunch of these opens guys are traveling the country, fishing, all of them. And they're younger people.
They are.
And it's so refreshing to see, they're all high class people. They're all
very
high
nice.
caliber,
Very nice
high
people.
caliber people.
Yeah.
I was very impressed to meet a bunch of them here
Yeah.
at the shop. And I thought, man, you guys are living the prime time of your lives right now.
Yeah.
They're hardcore.
Did you see Logan Parks down there?
I see in Logan Parks.
I can't believe he hasn't stopped in the shop. It's very, very disappointing.
You were talking about Alex Weatherall. Well,
Yeah.
we saw him last week.
Alex.
But our boat was from here to UOA.
Yeah.
And we were fishing. Well, not we, but they were fishing the same,
Oh, were they?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. You see them guys. He only had 2 days to pre-fish.
Yeah.
But now he's heading up north now. But with Chad Pipkins was down there.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes. Woo Daves was down there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was cool.
That was
I
cool.
seen Charlie Hartley.
Charlie's cool.
Yeah. And Stephen Browning was, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Well, all those
Yeah.
Bass Pro Tour guys are trying to make the elites.
Yeah. But I do want to give just one quick shout out to GDP again,
Yeah.
because I thought it was, he was the only one that went live. And, going into a tournament alone is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And then to go live,
Yeah.
he put it all out there. He told everybody everything he was doing. He held nothing back.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he did a hell of a job in the tournament.
Now,
He really
when
did.
you guys brought that to George and I, this is what we want to do. And Greg was like, listen, I don't really care. I said, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about that? I don't care. He said, whatever it is, I don't care. He said, I'm going to let people know. He said, and the thing he told me tonight was, he said, for all the seminars that I did with your listeners, they got to see me do exactly what I talked about.
Yeah. And he said it over and over again on live.
Yeah, this is exactly what I talk about in my seminars.
Yep.
This is, that this is now you guys seeing that I'm not BSing. This is what I do. And he said, I really wanted to get that across because I wanted to know that when we have these seminars that are at your store, they're no BS. It's true hardcore information. Yeah. And it was pretty cool that way.
You know what else is pretty cool on this particular open? And I want to give a shout out to SFT customers who are fishing it that made the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
So Steve D'Amato, and I know I didn't pronounce his name right.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't hold my feet to the fire.
Steve's a great guy.
Steve's a great guy. He's been shopping in here.
We compete against him down to Conowingo all the time.
He's been shopping in here forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And his bass fishing itch has been growing. And I mean, he's now fishing opens. He's in the top 10 for tomorrow. He was in second place going into today.
Yeah, he only made 4 fishing today.
Duke Nave is making the top 10 tomorrow. He's a longtime SFT customer. Duke's supported the store for decades.
That Dave fella, I can't think of his last name.
I don't think that's his last name.
Frost.
Is it Ross?
Frost.
Yeah, he was a local guy for years and fished, from Jersey and fished the Bay for years. Moved to Florida.
He's funny.
Yeah, and he's up there and he's in the top 10. And
he's 5th.
Yeah, he's 5th. And
tomorrow's going to be
great guy. And
I don't know how we're going to. I guess we're just going to have to watch Bass Track because they don't put their fish in. I don't know.
Guess we're just going to have to drive down and go live.
well, we could do that.
I'd like to give a shout out to Nick Wink. Nick, thank you, bud. That was legit. Taking your time off work and stuff. I appreciate that.
That was awesome.
Very, very much. And I know you had a good time. I know you love that stuff and you dig it, but still you took time off work to do this. Everybody watched this. There was 45,000 people who watched it on day one. And I don't even know what it was for day 2. I didn't look at the stats, but 45,000 people. And it's just going to be there forever. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And it was really cool. It's just cool to watch that stuff. That was really close and personal, like you said. And thanks to GDP, just class act, man.
Yeah,
he is the best.
Yeah. Well, Team SFT scores a big victory today. We're so proud to be able to talk about it on the show.
Yep.
Thank everybody for watching their live.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching Tackle Shop Live.
Yeah, absolutely.
And participating in our discussions and whatnot. And
we love it.
What have you. Next week, we have some really exciting ICAST releases that will be in-house.
Yeah.
From baits to reels. Jig heads even.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about some fresh fishing techniques next week that pertain to, the type of weather that we're experiencing.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about dealing with
heat waves,
excessive heat,
scorching heat,
and then cold fronts, and then 35 inches of rain in 6 weeks, and then the lack of grass in areas. We're gonna talk about. There's about 5 things on our punch list for next week. We're really excited about next week's show already, and we didn't even finish this show. So,
yeah,
that's where we're at, people.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you so much for stopping by. Thank you, everybody, for stopping on this edition of Tackle Shop Live.
Sunny day, right there you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I